Hi everyone, I'm Keith Guenther with Google. I'd like to welcome you to our Hangout on Air series called Disrupt or Be Disrupted. This is a live series with CXOs from leading organizations such as Netflix, as well as Tory Burch and others. And they're sharing their stories about how they're radically changing the norm with technology. Last month we had Briggs & Stratton on, and their executives were talking about the Internet of Things and how that's impacted their business and how they're taking advantage of that moving forward. Today we're going to talk a little bit about improving speed, agility, as well as cost efficiency in manufacturing. And today we have Manesh Patel, CIO of Sanmina, joining us to talk about how Google Enterprise has helped the company become more competitive through digital innovations. Manesh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Keith. It's great to be here and looking forward to this.
Fantastic. Thanks, Manesh. And we also have Michael Walton. So Michael heads up our manufacturing team here at Google Enterprise as well. Michael?
Hello, Keith. Nice to be here as well. Thank you.
Terrific. Thanks, Michael. So before we get started, I want to have just to give a quick notice to our viewers. If you're interested in providing some feedback or asking some questions, use hashtag #GoneGoogle on your Twitter or on Google+, and that'll reach us, and we'll try to address your comments there. So, Manesh, just to start off with you, why don't you, for the benefit of our audience, why don't you just give them a sense of what Sanmina does?
Sure. So Sanmina is a global manufacturing services company headquartered in Silicon Valley. We're about 45,000 employees worldwide. We operate in 23 countries. And we have a broad set of OEM customers that represent a wide range of industries, everything from communications equipment to medical, clean technology, computing, as well as defense and aerospace. We build thousands of products that range from MRI machines to wireless base stations to power systems for solar and wind. Over the years, we've extended our manufacturing capabilities to include design services, aftermarket fulfillment services, as well as vertical integration of various components such as cables, printed circuit boards, mechanical systems, and so on.
Terrific. So as a manufacturer, most manufacturers try to continue to deliver more and more value to their customers. So as you think about your partnership with Google, what challenges were you trying to address, or what opportunities did you see that you were trying to take advantage of?
Sure. So we're in a very competitive industry, and so a focus on cost and efficiency is really part of our DNA at Sanmina. And even with cost constraints, we've continued to drive innovation and continuous improvement to serve our customers as well as to improve our competitiveness. That drive is really reflected in some of the businesses we've developed over the years beyond the core manufacturing. Specifically on IT, what we tried to do is really focus our initiatives and our effort on improving the speed, agility, and cost efficiency of our business. And it's rare to achieve all three in one initiative, but that's what we were able to do with Google.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. Our initial motivation was cost, and we achieved our annual savings of about $2 million. Secondly, we really wanted to empower our employees to work more efficiently through Google Apps without really significant input from IT. More of our business today requires employees to work across time zones and distance, and really we saw Google's technology as a good fit. And thirdly, and most importantly in my view, our decision 5 years ago to go Google really put us on a different trajectory in terms of technology and innovation and the adoption of new technologies that whether from Google or from anybody else, and we've really seen that come through. What we see is some of the newer solutions that have come out from Google, such as Drive and Hangouts, are pretty exciting, and we're looking forward to the future. We see this as just the beginning.
Wow, that's great. Thanks, Manesh. So can you drill down a little bit more on how your people are becoming a little bit more productive, a little bit more self-sufficient as well?
Mm-hmm. So when we first deployed Google Apps, we focused on messaging, so that's email, calendar, and contacts. And we really wanted to move our employees quickly and effectively and efficiently from our old messaging platform, make sure that they were comfortable, had all the training that they needed. We did provide all of our employees with access to the full set of Google Apps, including Docs and Sites and so on. And what we found was that some of our employees naturally just started to use some of those other apps. For example, our design and engineering teams around the world were early adopters of Google Sites and to use for project management and collaboration with each other. And IT really played the role of enabler. We highlighted specific use cases, shared that with employees to really drive adoption. We also started a pretty interesting program. We call it Lunch and Learn. At many of our sites, usually on a Friday, we brought in lunch for employees. It was really a forum for employees to ask questions, for IT to provide demonstration of solutions and capabilities, and we've continued that over almost 5 years now, and it's been one of the more valuable programs that we've implemented.
Fantastic. Can you provide some more examples?
Sure. So today we have our employees use the full range of Google Apps to meet our customer and business needs. But one simple example is working with our customers. We do this on a daily basis to plan delivery schedules, production priorities, and really using Google Apps in real time, where we're sharing the same data set in the same time, to really, whether it's for a planned meeting or an ad hoc meeting, it's really, the ease of use is really key to its value. What we used to do in terms of sending information back and forth, it was very sequential, making sure we had the right versions of documents, making sure all the different participants had the right documents, really out of that business. And we're very used to working in real time, not only internally but with customers as well.
Fantastic. So what other examples might you have?
Another example is, so in our manufacturing processes, if we're building something on the manufacturing floor and we have a material shortage, that's a key challenge. It impacts our manufacturing productivity. It potentially impacts our ability to deliver products to our customers. So making the material shortage visible, not only to operations but to procurement, to planning, to our receiving dock, is absolutely critical. And this is an effort that came from our employees in the plants, where they're using Google Docs with an Android device connected to large screens in different departments, where we can very clearly in real time see what material shortages we have, who's actioning them, and really provide a focus on a critical activity. So we've seen some very simple solution, but we've seen some real value out of that.
Terrific, terrific. So Michael, let's shift the discussion over to you for a moment. Are you seeing this across all of manufacturing?
I am seeing these trends across manufacturing. With most manufacturers, of course, there are laggards, and there are the ones up front to the top 10% that are quite assertive and aggressive. But I am seeing this as a trend across manufacturing. When you're talking about some of the challenges that Sanmina had and what they see now as benefits of adoption, I would say yes.
Okay, terrific. So you see, so what challenges are you seeing manufacturers struggle with today, and how is digital actually helping to tackle those challenges?
So some of the challenges that I see right now are around collaboration. That's a very hot topic how to run things more cost efficiently, and getting the process to be actually executed in a shorter duration and with less resources. Also with increased agility. So on the first one, specifically on collaboration, what we see in manufacturing is an age-old paradigm of siloed communications. It's a legacy from how manufacturers historically had worked. That model is being broke down through video and other tools that are available to allow that collaboration. And you heard earlier with Sanmina when Manesh was talking about having the same documents, having the same data, being on the same version, and being able to provide the video and being able to provide the full-time collaboration. That is working anywhere, anytime, on any device. That's a big deal for manufacturers. Cost efficiency, these tools tend to be more cost efficient. In addition to that, they impact the process in such a way that it takes decreased effort to be able to do them both in time, of duration, and resources, and also the infrastructure reductions that we're seeing throughout, which was one of the primary reasons originally when Sanmina came to us and others. But then there's the process execution and agility. I want to highlight something that Manesh said that was actually in the Briggs & Stratton Hangout on Air as well previously, regarding inventory and being able to work with other plants and other organizations to ensure you're working with real-time visibility to either issues or inventory levels, etc., and being able to have the same common operating picture. That increases speed, both in how the process is executed, and decreases a number of interruptions that you don't want to be able to have to avoid if at all possible.
Gotcha, right. So if I got you correctly, it's improving collaboration, right? It's helping to reduce costs as well, and then improve process execution as the third item. So that's great. So switching back over to you, Manesh, if you think about your lean initiatives, right, which is huge in manufacturing, been there for a long time and continues moving forward. How is Google Apps helping you with those initiatives?
Well, we have a number of lean initiatives as part of our overall continuous improvement programs, and one major initiative we have right now, for example, is removing paper from the manufacturing floor. And that may seem like an obvious thing to do, but it is actually in reality quite hard to do. All of us have used paper for a long time, and it's pretty ingrained in our processes. And we made a good start. We've in areas like electronic work instructions, basic data capture. What we've done is really extend some of our manufacturing systems to include those capabilities. So we're capturing more of the information in our systems. We're providing real-time work instructions based on a barcode scan. We can pull up the right work instruction for that product, for that process step. So it's still early days, but we've made some good progress. And now, instead of paper, we have more tablets and Android and Chrome-based terminals and devices, as well as flat-screen TVs that are providing real-time information at the point of use. We are realizing productivity and cost efficiency. The finding is, as we move off paper, it's really not something that we actively pursued, but now that we have it, we are actively pursuing it. And this really provides a number of additional benefits and opportunities. We see that as we instrument the information and the processes, that information can be used to provide triggers for alerts based on certain conditions. It can provide trending. We can then make that information more visible. And that in turn leads to greater productivity and efficiency benefits.
That's great. Sounds like it's had a pretty big impact at Sanmina, so that sounds terrific. So let me shift gears a little bit here and switch it over to Michael here for a moment. I know that idea to profit, that whole business process of coming up with new ideas, going through product development, and then launching that product is really core to manufacturing, core to growth in many manufacturers. So, do you see how do you see the benefits, from Google Apps, in that particular process?
Well, I want to highlight a differentiator in the beginning is many companies look at it as idea to product. We look at it as idea to profit because Google takes into consideration how its tools can help a manufacturer to build in and design quality the first time and to reduce the time it takes to bring a product to market from not only an idea to production to a shelf or ship. So that is something that Google takes very seriously. What I want to do is focus in on the new product introduction on NPI with regard to how Google can help with collaboration of engineers being able to work on the same document design real time, capturing all the changes electronically in a paperless environment, which you'd heard from Manesh earlier. I have a big appreciation for that. To the plant floor, having the same view of those documents, being able to work with engineering in a collaborative way such that when going through the design of the production process, quality is built in, the training is occurring, the capturing of that through training videos and lessons learned being very, very much real time, and to include global rollouts where multiple plants can be speaking at the same time. All this together, along with marketing, there are tools that Google has to help marketing understand requirements and how those change from the demands of the users, of their customers, and how to be able to track those such that they can meet the expectation of the customer. And the customer today demands products faster, cheaper, with the same or better quality, with newer features. That's something that I think is definitely something Google's working hard on.
Fantastic. So you're hitting really, the entire business process from product design through quality through production as well. Sounds like the tools can really help. Manesh, I think you had some examples that you wanted to share as well.
Absolutely, and Keith, we all know that product cycle times are shrinking, and time to market is critical to success. And our customers certainly expect us to meet or beat their cycle times. And a lot of the points that Michael made are very relevant to us as well. And one of the things we see is as we build more complex products with complex processes and requirements, it's really essential that we fully leverage the tool set we have from Google, and we are doing that. And not only for collaboration, but we're beginning to use tools like Hangouts for video with customers, with design partners, with other Sanmina teams around the world. Our customers more and more are expecting a video connection for design sessions and technical meetings. It's absolutely invaluable if you're working around the world, as many of our teams are. I expect this trend to continue in terms of moving on from more technical and design-oriented sessions for video to more general business meetings, and we're pretty excited about rolling out Hangouts, for example, to more of our employees, and I really expect our employees to drive additional use cases and adoption.
Yeah, that's great. As your environment gets more and more complex, as it sounds like it has, I'm sure these tools are going to continue to add more and more value. With everything that you've seen and experienced to this point, has it also impacted the culture of your business?
Yeah, it's been somewhat of an unexpected and a pleasant surprise that use of Google's technology has resulted in some cultural changes at Sanmina. And one of the key things we've seen is the ease of use and the flexibility of the Google apps um, has really made teamwork a lot easier. And that in turn has led to more effective teamwork. And as I said earlier in my comments, where teamwork is an essential part of Sanmina, and we've got folks around the world who need to work together, generally on ad hoc teams, and so we're seeing greater and greater teamwork, and that's only a benefit to Sanmina and to our customers. As we roll out Hangouts to more employees, I expect this trend to accelerate, not only for teamwork, but really to build connections between employees. Most of our employees don't get to see each other around the world. Just being able to see a picture, and now we can see video with Google's tools. It's essential in building that camaraderie and that one team sort of focus. So it's been pretty exciting.
That sounds great. I know others have also talked about how the video helps to bridge, gaps perhaps in cultures, between employees. So that's been a key benefit also. So thank you, Manesh. So Michael, if we shift over to you for a moment, and clearly, going digital with Google, has really impacted Sanmina. As we look, moving forward into the future of manufacturing, what sort of trends do you see in manufacturing?
Well, Keith, I want to break that down into two groups, more near-term and long-term. From a near-term perspective, I see a greater investment continuing into the operator over the next 3 to 5 years, evolving. Some of those are video, as you heard from Manesh just moments ago, and continuing adoption and increasing the tools, both real-time and recorded, and how those are leveraged. I actually just heard a customer speak to me about how how a picture's worth 1,000 words in terms of video, and how it's been able to transcend a number of cultural challenges that they had internally. That was an amazing benefit they didn't anticipate. Another one is wearables such as Google Glass or Google Now, being able to make the operator hands-free, which then directly contributes to their safety. And then cloud in plants. Historically, there's been, most recently, a little bit of an apprehension to adopt it across wide scale. We're seeing 10% of the market adopt it as early adopters, maybe a little bit less. Now we're seeing a growing demand for it. In large part, the questions are around security, and I believe those are being resolved, and there's greater confidence in the market on those. One other thing I want to point out is collaboration. When I was talking about video, is the collaboration between marketing, engineering, and production, making sure that they are able to collaborate real time. It is compressing that new product introduction process and the time it takes to get products with designed in quality out first.
Those are great examples, and Manesh touched on a couple of those. So I'm curious, if you think even further out, what do you see further out on the horizon for manufacturing?
Well, I see 3 specifically I want to mention that we see growing in demand, but are much longer term bets, is regarding the visualization of the 3D supply chain. We have early adopters of that, and they're experiencing tremendous amount of benefit from it. But in the most simplest terms, it's using our tools to visualize the supply chain and identifying threats to that supply chain early on to assist in understanding how to mitigate those threats, rather than on demand, meaning we found the threat and having to deal with it. So it's much more on the analytics side. Then there's the learning and intelligent machines. Some areas of the world call that Industry 4.0. Some are referring to it as smart manufacturing. but machines that are able to deal with multiple modes of manufacturing, reconfiguring themselves, being able to do a lot more with information without as much human intervention. And then the last one, 3D printing. That's a big bet. We are seeing things such as even a dress was recently printed in 3D. We are seeing advancements in that, but for sure it's going to be here. But it's a much longer term bet for certain.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great. So if I got you right, the first one was analytics, so applied to the supply chain. The second one is machine learning, on the floor and perhaps other locations as well. And then the third was what was the third again?
3D.
Sorry?
3D
printing. Thank you. 3D printing. So that's great. So if you think about that, Manesh, kind of turning it over to you, how does this play out for you at Sanmina? Are you seeing the same sort of things in your future?
Yeah, we're seeing some of them, and frankly, we're very excited for the future and look forward to leveraging some of these newer technologies where they apply to Sanmina, and really building on the partnership we have with Google. And as we connect more and more of our data and our processes and our employees, I really expect to see some pretty transformative capabilities and solutions that we haven't even thought of yet. And Michael just outlined a few of them. Some of them are out there, but they're coming. And the exciting thing is, providing our employees with some great tools and just letting them go create things. I think that's the real excitement for me. In the near term, what I see is that the use of video is going to be pretty disruptive in the manufacturing environment, both live video, recorded video. We see video as being really providing a universal means of communication that really transcends language. And as we are a global company, we see some of the limitations of language. And video for training and instruction will expand into really supersede some of the more traditional forms of training. The use of video to bring the right expertise to bear in a manufacturing environment or an engineering setting. That's still at an early stage, but we see a lot of potential there, and we expect that to grow pretty quickly. Tools and solutions that make it easier to create, manage, and access video will really drive adoption, so we're looking forward to some of those things.
Fantastic. So guys, we just kind of addressed the topics of improving speed, as well as cost and agility within manufacturing, and so I appreciate your time today. What I'd like to do is kind of open it up to the audience to invite some questions, and please use the hashtag go on Google, on Twitter, or on your G+ accounts. And while we wait for some questions perhaps to come in, let's talk to Mike here for a moment. Mike, as you talk to CIOs, what are the types of things that they're doing to increase adoption of these tools?
So I think that what you're seeing is, you heard the Lunch and Learn program. I've witnessed that elsewhere. We're culturally trying to give much more opportunity to employees to be able to learn on demand, being able to learn at periods collectively together that are abundant. We're seeing adoption occurring much greater in those kinds of learning environments. We're seeing another way of adoption is how companies are allowing their employees to create areas of opportunity to improve with recommendations through Kaizen processes or other internal lean projects, and that's increasingly giving more adoption for certain.
Fantastic. So as you think a little bit about how Sanmina, perhaps other businesses, why they partner with Google, It goes beyond the tools, doesn't it? It goes more towards the benefits of the relationship entirely, wouldn't you say?
I do. I heard it best put to me at a recent leadership summit for manufacturing that Google gets ideation. They get and understand they do it all the time, and I think that culturally fits well with the manufacturing community.
Terrific. That's a great point. So let's just expand on this a little bit, as we have a couple of other questions come in. So the first one is really regarding cloud. Can you explain a little bit more about cloud and what manufacturers are asking for in the plants?
Well, I'll answer that, and then if I could have maybe Manesh give that a little bit of some feedback as well. So what I'm seeing is the transactions on the plant floor, things such as barcode scans, data from machines, from PLCs, controllers, DCS controllers, that high transactional rate of data being ported to the cloud such that there's economy of scale, and they're able to take advantage of those on-demand tools for analytics, reporting, and a number of other methods. That's what we're seeing, and also we're seeing, if you will, like for the big data perspective, an Internet of Things, and transition over the industrial internet with the manufacturers. So not only are the machines on the plant floor we talking about, but the extended plant with maintaining the products in the field. We're seeing that data from a telematics and asset management perspective being pulled in to the cloud as well. And so this is transforming how manufacturers are, both from a cost perspective dealing with the problem and from a capability, because it's much stronger capability. Manesh, would you add something to that?
Sure. Am I coming across loud and clear?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Okay, great. No, you know, we definitely see a lot of potential. We've done a lot of work with Google already, but and my sense is that, and I said early on, that we're on a different trajectory. The path that Google's driving is pretty disruptive, and frankly, we've been trying to play catch up over the last 5+ years. Hopefully, over the next 5 years, we'll be able to play some of that catch up and derive additional value out of some of the things Google's doing.
Fantastic. Well, Manesh, Mike, thanks so much for joining us today, sharing some of your knowledge with myself and the audience today. I'd love to also thank the audience for joining us today. Hopefully, you found your investment of time well spent. This is an ongoing series that we're doing, monthly. And so next month on July 23rd, we'll continue the Disrupt or Be Disrupted series with Mike Kyle, the CIO of Netflix, and Nick Gardner at the Weather Channel. So two terrific individuals who are remaking their organizations as well. So we certainly hope to see you there. So thanks gentlemen, and thank the audience for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.